الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Alhamdulillah, we were on the chapter of Babun fi Sabr and the chapter of patience. The last hadith we read was the story of Abu Talha radiallahu anhu, which was hadith number 44. So, hadith number 45, inshallah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: ليس الشديد بالسرعة إنما الشديد الذي يملك نفسه عند الغضب. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reports that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, ليس الشديد بالسرعة. When Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned his name, we can also say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhaddithin say that the riwayah and the narration where the Prophet ﷺ said that the person that will be closest to me on the Day of Judgment are going to be those who recite salawat al-qami the most. And muhaddithin say that the muhaddithin themselves will be in the front rows of those people. Because all day Rasulullah ﷺ did this and Rasulullah ﷺ said that. Abu Hurairah says the Prophet ﷺ said, لَيْسَ الشَّدِيدُ بِالسُّرْعَةِ, the shadid or the strong person is not the one who can slam someone, sur'ah, who can wrestle someone, who can put someone on his back. إِنَّمَا الشَّدِيدُ الَّذِي يَمْلِكُ نَفْسَهُ عِنْدَ الْغَضَبِ. Rather, the strong person is the one who can control himself when he is angry. Because controlling oneself at that time and to have sabr at that time is not something very easy. Surah, to slam someone, to wrestle someone, obviously if you have a person that's 6 feet against a person that's 5 feet, obviously we know who's going to win. He has more of a head start. But ghadab is something that we can all work on to control ourselves. So Rasulullah said this as standard. That the stronger person is a person who can control himself when he is angry. As a scholar said that when a person is angry, he becomes the tool of shaitan. When a person is angry, he becomes a tool of shaitan, because when he's angry, he can divorce his wife, he can hit his children. There's many acts that fall or can come into existence when a person is angry. وعن سليمان بن سرد رضي الله عنه قال: Sulaiman ibn radiallahu anhu says, كنت جالسا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. I was once sitting with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم ورجلان يستبان. And there were two men that were arguing. So the Sahabi says, I was sitting with the Prophet when there were two people at a distance that were arguing. وَأَحَدُهُمَا قَدْ احْمَرَّ وَجْهُهُ. One of the person's face was red out of anger. وَانْتَفَخَتْ أَوْدَاجُهُ. And his veins were popping out because of him being so angry, and he was shouting and he was yelling. فَقَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنِّي لَأَعْلَمُ كَلِمَةً لَوْ قَالَهَا. Verily I know of a kalimah that if he was to say it, لَذَهَبَ عَنْهُ مَا يَجِدُ. Now whatever he's going through, all the anger he has, if he says this kalimah, this will go away instantly. This will go away right away. لو قال, if he had said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. If he says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, ذهب منه ما يجد. Whatever he is feeling will go away. All that anger will go away. فقالوا له. So some of the Sahaba quickly ran to that Sahabi, the companion, and they said, إن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم said, تعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. And this is something that's mujarrab. This is something that people have experienced, that when they're extremely angry, and if they remember in that state, to that Rasulullah ordered to say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Their anger subsides instantly. It goes away right away. وعن معاذ بن أنس رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال. Mu'adh ibn Anas رضي الله عنه, the Prophet said, من كظم غيظا. Whosoever kadhaba means to drink. Whosoever drinks his anger, swallows his anger. وَهُوَ قَادِرٌ عَلَىٰ أَن يُنْفِذَهُ. And he is capable upon doing whatever he could have done to that person who he was angry with. So it's not like, there's a person that's much smaller in size and he's like, you know what, he's lucky. I'm gonna swallow my anger. He better swallow his anger because he can't do anything about it. This fadilah and this virtue is for the person that can do something about it. But yet he swallows his anger. دعاه الله سبحانه وتعالى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call him على رؤوس الخلائق يوم القيامة. In front of everyone on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call him حتى يخيره من الحور العين ما شاء. Until there will be many women of Jannah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, this is a gift for you, you can choose whomsoever you want. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look how He is calling and giving this gift to this person. That in front of everyone, He has the entire creation, the entire makhluk standing there, and in front of everyone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls one person and He gives him this gift. Ghadab and anger is something that's natural. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed ghadab and anger in every one of our hearts. But how to use this anger, Rasulullah tells us how to use this anger. That's why there's something called al-hub fillah wal-bughd fillah. Right? So Rasulullah also tells us how to utilize and how to use this anger. And if it is for things that are not permissible, Rasulullah gives us tips on how to get rid of that ghadab. رواه أبو داود. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه. Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه says, أن رجلا قال للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أوصني. In the time of the Sahaba, there were many Sahaba that were not residents of Medina. Many of the Sahaba would come from neighboring cities or neighboring countries. And so they would come to the Prophet ﷺ and they would ask the Prophet ﷺ to give him some advice. Or some Sahabi would say that, Ya Rasulullah, give me some advice, but don't make it too long on me. Give me a short advice. And so the Sahabas would live with the Sahaba for a couple of days, and whatever they would learn, they would go back to their home, their nation, they would preach what they would see and what they would hear from the Prophet ﷺ. Anyways, the Sahabi came and he says that, Awsini, Ya Rasulullah, give me some advice. Look at the method that Rasulullah ﷺ uses. He says, La taghdab. He says, don't get angry. So the questioner, فَرَدَّدَ مِرَادِ, he asked him the same question, Ya Rasulullah, give me another advice. And Rasulullah would say the same, قَالَ لَا تَغْضَبْ. And he would ask for a third time, Ya Rasulullah, give me another advice. And Rasulullah would say, don't get angry. Rasulullah is telling him, even though he's asking for different advice, Rasulullah is giving him the same advice. Why? Because now when he goes back, he's going to know that Rasulullah ordered me 3 times. La taghdab, la taghdab, don't get angry. One of our teachers, when we would ask him for advice, as is like the habit of the students before they leave madrasa, which they studied in that school for 8-10 years, they would ask all the major teachers the advice. There are too many teachers, so obviously they're not going to go to all of them. So one teacher would always say this. He said, what use of it is giving you advice? It's not that you're going to remember. When's the last advice you remember from a scholar? He'll be just sitting there. But he would tell you the advice later on, but he would always say this so you remember. So Rasulullah uses this method that la taghdab, la 3 times. Another thing to keep in mind is that we find many times in a hadith that one Sahabi goes up and asks the Prophet ﷺ, give me some advice. The Prophet ﷺ says, for you is to stay quiet. One person goes up, he says, Ya Rasulullah, what is afdalul a'mal? What is the best of actions? So Rasulullah says, birrul walidayn. For you is the khidmah and to take care of your parents. So we find this many a times. Why Rasulullah would know the companion from his face. That what does he need? And the amal becomes more heavier in regards to reward because this person has to struggle more for that particular action. For example, this Sahabi, maybe he would get mad very fast. So Rasulullah says, well, you know the best amal for you is la taqta, don't get angry. And a person is not as kind to his parents. And Rasulullah he feels that maybe he needs to be a little bit more gentle to his parents. So he says, for you, birrul walidayn, the respect of your parents. That's why we find these many different a'mal in the hadith. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال, Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, ما يزال البلاء بالمؤمن في نفسه وولده وماله حتى يلقى الله تعالى وما عليه خطيئة. That ما يزال البلاء بالمؤمن, bala, trials and tribulations, ما يزال بالمؤمن, are continuously with the mu'min. Trials and tribulations and musibah is continuously with the mu'min in regards to himself. Maybe he has some problem, he has some heart problem, he has some kidney problem. Any type of problem is with the mu'min. Rasulullah said, whether it's in himself, fi nafsi, wa waladi, or his children. Maybe one of his child is sick, maybe he's ill, or he's going through a bad time or a rough time. So wa awladi. وَمَالِهِ, maybe he is not financially good. Maybe he has some trouble in regards to his money and wealth. حَتَّى يَلْقَى اللَّهَ تَعَالَى وَمَا عَلَيْهِ خَطِيئَةٌ. And this will continuously be the case until he meets Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَا عَلَيْهِ خَطِيئَةٌ, and there is no sin left on this person. This hadith came earlier, that every second a mu'min goes through some musibah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continuously moves his sins and erases his sins. And I gave that story last time, that there was a person there was two people passing away. One was a very pious person and one was a fasiq, right? One was a person that was a sinner. And the sinner, he was enjoying his time when the angel of death approached him and came to him and he had wine in front of him and he asked for some more. And the mu'min and the believer and the pious person, he asked for some water when he was passing away. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the angel of death that when you go to this believer, this pious person, don't give him even a drop of water. But when you go to this fasiq, give him whatever he wants. So the angel of death did so, and then he came to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the angel asked him, Ya Allah, when you told me to go to this mu'min, this salih, this pious person, you told me not to give him anything he's asking for. And while this sinful person is passing away, you told me to give him everything he wants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that this person, that's a pious person, he had some khatiyah, he had some sins left in his account. So now I make him go through some hardships, so when he comes to me, he's pure. He has nothing left on him. And this person that's going through such a hard time, he did some good. And he's not going to make it to Jannah for sure. So I paid him back by giving him whatever he wanted here. I paid him back for whatever he wanted here. Which tells us that anytime a mu'min goes through some musibah, and a hadith came earlier that وَلَا غَمٍ وَلَا هَمٍ وَلَا حَزَنٍ, that any type of grief he has, any type of concern he has, that's sitting in his mind, and worries him, and concerns him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for every second that the mu'min is going through that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erases bad deeds from his account. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما, Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنه says, he says, قدم عيينة بن حصن. The عيينة بن حصن came, فنزل على ابن أخيه الحر بن قيس. Ibn Abbas says that Uyayna bin Hisn, this person came, and he was not a resident of the area, and he came to stay at his nephew's house, whose name was Al-Hur ibn Qais. And this Hur ibn Qais, this nephew of his, وَكَانَ مِنَ النَّفَرِ الَّذِينَ يُدْنِيهِمْ عُمَرُ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. Hur ibn Qais was a person, وَكَانَ مِنَ النَّفَرِ, he was from the group that Umar رضي الله عنه يُدْنِيهِمْ would keep very close to him. Hur ibn Qais was one of the people that used to sit in the council of Umar radiallahu anhu when Umar radiallahu anhu used to make a decision. وَكَانَ الْقُرَّاء أَصْحَابَ مَجْلِسِ عُمَرَ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. And the Qurra, the experts in Quran, not only in recitation, but Qurra would refer to ulama as well. People who are well versed in Quran. They were the special people of the majlis of Umar radiallahu anhu. وَمُشَاوَرَتِهِ كُهُولًا كَانُوا أَوْ شُبَّانًا. And they used to advise Umar radiallahu anhu, كُهُولًا كَانُوا أَوْ شُبَّانًا, whether they were old or shubban, whether they were young. And we know Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, who's narrating this same hadith, was very small at age, but Umar radiallahu anhu used to keep him very close in the majlis. Right? And when the older Sahaba, older ulama would be like, this guy is a kid. Right? He just entered the teenage years. And you keep him very close to you and you listen to his mashwara. So Umar radiallahu anhu called Ibn Abbas, come here. What is the tafsir إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean? And we know he asked all the Sahaba, all the people in his council first, and they said, well, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help comes and this. And he asked Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu says, no, this is pointing towards when Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will pass away. When Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam would pass away, people would enter the deen in large amounts, large groups. As Umar radiallahu anhu said, bihada. For this, I keep him very close to him. So the Qurra were very close to Umar radiallahu anhu. And Hur ibn Qais was one of them, his nephew. فَقَالَ عُيَيْنَ ibn أَخِي. Uyayna said to his nephew, the one who came, his uncle, يَا ابْنَ أَخِي لَكَ وَجْهٌ عِنْدَ هَذَا الْأَمِيرِ. That you have, like a wajh, you have a special connection, or you have a special place in front of this Amir. فَاسْتَأْذِنْ لِي عَلَيْهِ. So ask him for me. Ask him if I can come sometime to this council. فَاسْتَأْذَنَ. He asked Umar. فَأَذِنَ لَهُ Umar. So Umar radiallahu anhu gave him permission. فَلَمَّا دَخَلَ. When he came inside, his uncle, Uyayna bin Husn, قال هِي يَبْنَ الْخَطَّابِ فَوَاللَّهِ مَا تُعْطِينَ الْجَزَدِ وَلَا تَحْكُمُ فِينَا بِالْعَدْلِ. The Umar, he came inside the council and said, Umar, in front of everyone. He said that you do not give us a portion of wealth that's supposed to be ours. وَلَا تَحْكُمُ فِينَا بِالْعَدْلِ. And you do not, when you come to make judgments in regards to our disputes, you do not make judgments with honesty and you don't make it with fairness. You are unjust or unfair. فَغَضِبَ عُمَرْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. Umar radiallahu anhu became very angry. حَتَّى هَمَّ أَنْ يُوقِعَ بِهِ. Until Hamma, he made an intention to actually go and knock him out and beat him up. People were extremely scared to do any vice or to violate any rule, whether it's from Sharia or whether it's an order Umar radiallahu anhu kept for the benefit of the community. They were extremely scared because Umar radiallahu anhu was a man that would take action right away. Oftentimes we hear about Umar radiallahu anhu, we sometimes may think that the other khulafa or other Sahaba were not as strict. No, all the Sahaba were strict, but in their own areas. For example, when Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu became Khalifa, and some people of that time, they said that we're not going to give zakah. Because we used to give zakah to the Prophet ﷺ and he would distribute it amongst the fuqara. So we're not going to give zakat. So now the question was, what do we do with such people? It was a very tough time because Rasul ﷺ had left the world and now Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu now just became Khalifa. And so the question was that, are these people murtad? Are these people, had they turned away from Islam because they're ignoring the ruling of zakat or not? So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said that I'm going to fight these people even if they don't give me, even if the fight's on just one string, one rope that they used to give the Prophet ﷺ in zakat. Umar radiallahu anhu says no, because the Prophet ﷺ said whoever bear witnesses that Allah is one and Muhammad is a messenger, he's a Muslim. Even though Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was right. But what did Abu Bakr say to Umar? He said that when you were in Jahiliyyah, you were such a brave man that whenever you didn't like something, you would take action right away. And now because it was so cold, he said now you're acting cowardly now. So everyone was of this type, but everyone in their own areas and own fields. So anyways, this person said that you're unjust with us. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he got ready to get up and to take care of this person. فَقَالَ لَهُ الْحُرْ. So his nephew said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, O Amir al-Mu'mineen, Inna Allah Ta'ala qala li nabiyyi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to his Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Khudil afwa, wa'mur bil'urf, wa'a'rid al-jahilin. That forgive, khudil afwa, hold on to afwa, forgive people. Wa'mur bil'urf, and order people to what is good, bring them towards khayr. And wa'a'rid al-jahilin, if any ignorant people come your way, then a'rid anhum. That turn your backs away from them. Go the other way. So his nephew says, when Umar is about to take care of the Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told his Prophet, and there's no person that's better than Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that khudil afwa, and there's no person that went through more trials and tribulations than the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, I was tested more than any Nabi. I was tested more than any Nabi, and the Anbiya are tested more than all of us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told his Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that khudil afwa, wa'mur bil'urf, wa'a'rid al-jahilin. And this is the highlighted part, this is why this hadith is in this chapter. That وَإِنَّ هَذَا مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ, and his nephew said, this is from the ignorant ones, just ignore him. وَاللَّهِ مَا جَاوَزَهَا, Ibn Abbas narrating this hadith, وَاللَّهِ مَا جَاوَزَهَا عُمَرْ حِينَ تَلَاهَا وَكَانَ وَقَّافًا عِنْدَ كِتَابِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. As soon as Umar heard this ayah from Hur ibn Qais, he stopped and his anger melted right away. Ibn Abbas says that Umar radiallahu anhu's nature was such that yes, he would be angry very quickly. But if he was reminded of a verse, or he would be reminded that this is against what the Prophet ﷺ taught, he would stop right away. No matter how angry he would be. No matter how angry he would be. We were supposed to cover many other hadiths, but it's good to say the story here. Once Umar radiallahu anhu, he came to a person's house, and he saw that this person, he actually heard that there was music playing in his house. And when he jumped his wall and he came inside, and he seen this companion of Prophet ﷺ as he was listening to some music, and he had bottles of wine in front of him. So Umar said, "What is this? Right? You're breaking a couple rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." And so the Sahabi, obviously he felt much regret, but he said that you're also breaking the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, enter the house with the doors, and you're jumping this wall. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't spy, and you're spying on me, you were hearing. So anyways, Umar radiallahu anhu, when he heard this, he quickly ran out. He says that Umar radiallahu anhu heard this and he ran. Anyways, Umar radiallahu anhu was Amir al-Mu'mineen that time.